This is the back of a regular ambulance. Across the province in the fleet, they are all the same like this. All ambulances are commissioned in Calgary, so regardless of where they're going to end up in the province, they start here in Calgary after coming from the manufacturer. Some of the new standard things we have are there are 3 captain's chairs in an ambulance now, all with 3-point harness. We don't have any of the benches anymore that we used to have in the past that ran along this section. All of them have a standard power load stretcher, and each ambulance is slowly being refitted with a power load system as well. It's one of the other ergonomic features that we're going to be having in all the trucks that will do some of the lift and carry injuries. Very, very standard. They're all well lit. They all have safety grab bars in 2 different areas. That was a request of staff to have actually 2. There's any of the yellow grab bars that are high visibility are for that safety factor, as well as the blue padding and the yellow padding that exists in the ambulance. Everything is designed for safety. The seat that's over here is designed for the attendant to sit. That allows that paramedic or EMT to work with the patient that may be on the stretcher, and all the most standard equipment such as the monitor, some of the IV and medication equipment, and other things that are most readily required are designed for that person not to have to get up. In this area here, we have a special 3-point or a 5-point harness system here. That is if we had to have a pediatric patient who needed to be rear-facing, or if we have to move a next of kin, or like a young child, and the next of kin is the patient, so that is that. It can also be forward-facing as required. Everything is otherwise designed to work for the practitioner. So the seat I am in would be an airway seat, because the airway equipment is here, so if a patient requires additional support, the seat that's over here may be used for CPR or sometimes for an next of kin, but largely they travel in the front. The cabinet that's over here is accessed from 3 different places. It can roll up where the attendant is sitting. It can be accessed through the doors that are visible here, but also the exterior can all be accessed, because that's where the most standard equipment is kept. Other things that we have in place here as well too, the ability just to access waste without having to touch it. If you have gloved hands and things like that, you can just pop that open in our best efforts to stay clean. And everything is designed for cleanliness as well, the way the floor is set up, the way things are raised, to try and keep the ambulances as clean as we can. The units are all stocked in a similar way. There is a stocking that AHS requires, and there's also requirements from Alberta Health of what must be on an ambulance. So they all leave the same amount of stock. In the day-to-day of it, various crews may or may not add or adjust things as required, but really the ambulance should all be the same, such that any crew anywhere can get into an ambulance and know that equipment is in the exact same spot. There are fewer and fewer. I think we're down into the single digits or less of what would be known as legacy units across the province. Every service before we became a part of Alberta Health Services did have their own fleet, and slowly they've been transitioned out. So largely the ambulances, as you see them now, with the large green and blue stripes on the side, are the newest branding trucks. In some instances, there may be some hybrid or cross branding that identifies it as an Alberta Health Services resource, even though it may have the markings of another municipality. As those cycle out, they'll be replaced with our trucks. It also depends as well. The vast majority of EMS service in the province is direct delivery. That means it's provided by Alberta Health Services. But there are quite a number of areas in the province that are contract provider. Red Deer is an example, or Lethbridge, or other centers that are fire EMS, who will maintain their own fleet under their own municipal branding under